was on my first trip to India in 2004 with my buddy Dave, a military friend that I'd traveled to Vietnam with and other places with. And we were on our way from Delhi, heading north. We wanted to go to the Golden Temple up by Pakistani border. And we had a long ways to go and not much time before the daylight was going to be gone, and we were in a hurry. And our driver that we hired was taking his time, and I mean, he was diddling around, and he stopped to get something and went by and he got something else. Next thing you know, we're really late. We're running as fast as we can go, and he's driving down this highway in India, and of course, the odometer and the speedometer, they're all in kilometers. So when he's going over 100 and some kilometers an hour, it just looks really spooky. But he was probably going 60, 65 miles an hour. And there's no lights along the highway like in America or in the West. Nothing's lit up. This highway is totally dark. And there's no fences along the freeway. So cows and camels and people and all kinds of things can be on the roads. People on bicycle and everything else. And you're zipping down what amounts to be as a freeway, and you got people on the side of the road every once in a while. So it finally got getting really dark, and he stops at this little roadside altar. Stops, we're in a hurry. He stops, he gets out, and he says he has to go inside this little temple, roadside temple, to pray to his god, and his monkey god, Hanuman. I think that's how you say it. So he gets out. He goes inside. He's in there for about 5 minutes. He comes out and he says, "Okay, we're protected. Everything's good." And I go, oh, "Okay." And we're a little miffed because we want to get to where we're going and get checked into a hotel, before it gets too late in the day, or the night in this case. So we're going down the road, and we're a couple hours from our destination, and I'm sitting in the front seat. And in India, you drive on the right side, the driver, just the opposite of America. So I'm sitting in the left seat, passenger seat, and so I'm seeing everything that's coming at us. And talk about scary. You got people passing on the wrong side in India, going around trucks, cutting in and out. We're having some real close calls. It's really scary. My buddy Dave was sitting in the back seat, and he wasn't too happy with the way it was being driven either. So all of a sudden, we're driving right down the middle of this highway, and out of the middle of nowhere, in front of our headlights, and it's so dark that the only thing we can see is what's directly in front of us in our headlights. And in our headlights is a short-statured older man, looked like about my age, white hair, long white hair down to his shoulder, a white beard, big bulgy eyes, and he's got like a loincloth or something. He's got some kind of just cloth around. He's got a bare chest and his legs are bare, and he's got some kind of sandals on, and he's standing there and he's looking right at us, right in the middle of the road, and we're barreling down at him between 60, 65 miles an hour, and he's no more than a few yards away. If it was a football game, I'd say he's 5 yards the next line. So we're going to collide with this guy in a second or two. Pretty soon he's going to be roadkill on our grill. And the driver's just there frozen. He can't turn lanes. He can't do anything else. There's not enough time. There's no time to react. But in that moment, everything slowed down. It was like everything went into slow motion. It was like time stood still. And we're watching this guy, and I'm having time to mentally say a prayer to God to protect this guy. And the driver's doing the same. He's praying to his God to protect the guy. And Dave's in the back, white knuckles, ready for the impact. And just as we should be hitting this guy, we should be piercing him with the car. We should be totally colliding with him. He disappears. And the driver and I, we look around, and Dave looks around, and we slow down, and he looks in his rearview mirror, and we turn around and look back, and he's standing right in the middle of the road. We're off to the side a little bit. And he looks at us, gives us that look, And then he scampers right off across the highway. And we're going, what? What? Why wasn't he hit? There was no time to do anything, and there's no way that we should not have hit him. But we approached him, and he just dematerialized and was in the back of our car. Impossible. I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it today. Of course, our driver took full credit for stopping at his temple, roadside temple, for saving this man's life. I'm not too sure about that, but I know one thing. We didn't hit him. Time stood still, slowed down like it was practically standing still, and he disappeared. And so we got our collective breath, got back driving, and made it to the Golden Temple the next morning and had a glorious sunrise. But I kept thinking about that and wondering, why didn't we hit him? And then years later, I think about and recall what he looked like in his eyes, his bulging big eyes and his hair and his beard. And he looked very familiar. Very, very familiar. And years later, I ran into somebody who looked just like him. But that's another story.